Good afternoon, YouTubers. Tsquare with Tsquare Talk. So I wanted to take a quick few minutes and shoot a video this evening about what's going on in China. We've already been talking a lot about shortages in stuff that we use in our everyday lives, but now we're starting to see a new problem that we haven't really talked a whole lot about. Basically, supply shortages coming from a whole new level. China right now experiencing huge blackouts. And at first, when a lot of people think about this, they're going to say, well, I'm not living in China, so I'm not really worried about it. It doesn't affect me. But the problem with that is this is affecting pretty much the whole country wide. And they're shutting down factories now. They're shutting down people's homes, people getting trapped in elevators. If you guys want to read up a little bit on this, you guys kind of can. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it because I think it's going to be a huge problem. You can basically go on Google, type in power shortages in China. There is so many articles right now pouring out of China over the internet. And you can read, no matter whether you believe some news networks, maybe they're biased one way, maybe they're biased another way. However, everything to me about this points to a huge slowdown in the Chinese economy, which people realize. But what a lot of people don't realize yet is that's going to affect us here in the U.S. Or depending on where you are in the world. Most countries get a lot of their stuff from China. China produces huge amounts of stuff. They produce it. They ship it out. We're already seeing now shortages in the tankers. We talked about this the other night on the stream where tanker ships are pretty much at an all-time high off the coast of California. Just they can't get into docks. They can't get into piers. They've got shortage of workers. Everything going on, and now we're going to see supplies kind of run even more limited because manufacturing is going to slow down due to power cuts. Like I said, I've been reading through a bunch of these stories. I kind of wanted to talk a few minutes about it, kind of put this into perspective for people that just don't really see what potentially is going on. It could really be bad for everybody around the world. So I highly recommend you guys kind of get prepared. We've talked about this. This is not financial advice. This is not me telling anybody what to do. However, my thoughts are I want to be prepared. If there is a shortage on stuff, whether you're in China, whether you're in the U.S., wherever you may be, it's worth being prepared. And prepared doesn't just mean I'm going to say Christmas gifts, supplies, anything that you buy. Right now, as you can see, this inflation is not transitory. They want to lead you to believe this is a temporary thing. This is going to go away. There's no signs of it going away anytime soon. And every day, day after day, we're hearing problems. More problems arrive. At some point, these problems are all going to bottleneck into a huge supply shortage. So my thoughts are, stock up a little bit extra on stuff. Stock up a little bit extra on food products. We saw a huge hit today in silver and gold. Some people realize, in my opinion, this is temporarily. It's not going to last. Eventually, if the stock market takes a huge hit, then generally you see gold and silver start really climbing. And basically saying this, I've said for a while now, I think we're going to see a stock market hit. Companies cannot sustain stocks continuing to climb, higher profits, when business is slowing down because they're running out of material to sell. We've talked with Cisco, one of the food distributors all over the country, one of the largest. I've talked to some of their representatives. They've told me there are shortages. They didn't have certain items that I buy on a normal basis through a buddy of mine, and they can't produce it now. So they're having shortages on the supply. Now they're having plastic shortages. Prices are going up with plastic. Plastic's affecting everything. Now, not being able to make as much because of power, whether that be climate change, whether that be prices on oil and gas going up, coal prices climbing to new all time highs. As commodity prices continue to climb to basically new highs, that cost has to get passed on to somebody. Someone's got to foot that. A company cannot keep producing, we'll say, widgets or whatever. They can't keep producing the items that they're producing at the same price if the cost of producing it goes up, which means they'll have to pass that on to consumers. As those products start to go up, we'll end up basically our weekly, monthly budgets that we spend on our consumables will start to climb. If you bought something before the price went up, essentially you made that much money. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you use a special kind of shampoo, or you just the shampoo you buy. Let's say it's $3 today. You buy a bottle of it and you put it in your closet. It's an extra bottle. You don't need it. You put it in your wherever you keep your under your sink, whatever, cabinets, and all of a sudden that shampoo goes up to $3.50. Well, essentially, just by you buying it before the jump, you save 50 cents. Now, I understand not everything that we use on a daily basis you can just stock up on. You can stock up on a lot of things. You can stock up on toilet paper, paper towels, any kind of consumables. However, obviously you can't on bread, eggs, milk, that type of stuff. However, as prices climb, it's going to start squeezing people. Will this be permanent? My thoughts are we're going to see prices continue to climb at a kind of a faster pace, and then we'll see it slow down, not go back to the way the prices were. So granted, if you stock up on, let's say you buy 6 months worth of some one item that you use all the time, you use a bottle every month, you're going to buy 6 bottles of it, and you're going to stock up on it. You're not going to feel it as early as everybody else will. As soon as someone starts going to the store and the prices hit, they're going to feel those price inclines. However, you can basically dodge that feeling by just having a little extra on hand. Now, the problem that's going to come up as more and more people start to stock up on their daily items that they use, we're going to see more shortages. We're already seeing shortages on some stuff at the grocery store. They have reinstituted meats. You're only allowed 2 meats at my grocery store here in the city. Depending on where you live, every case is going to be different. I mean, I know a lot of people have been stocking up. They buy a little extra when they go to the store. Certain stuff probably not going to go bad depending on what you like. I realize some foods you can't keep for a long period of time without kind of putting some extra money and process into it. However, that may be something to kind of look into. We have a lot of videos on our channel about food preservation, how you can store your food to last a little longer. Not everybody is going to change their life drastically and start preserving their food for a 20-year shelf life. Not everybody is going to get into homesteading and all of a sudden basically get chickens, start raising a farm. It's a little late for most people here in the U.S. to grow a garden. I know there are some winter crops that people are planting right now. However, mostly underground crops, carrots, that type of stuff. However, I just kind of wanted to do this video because a lot of people are unaware of what's going on in China. It's too bad. I know I've been without power for long periods of time, up to 3 weeks, and it made life miserable. We were lucky, like I said, we had a generator, but it still is an inconvenience. And when people are not really prepared for what's going on, I think they're in for a rude awakening. They're shutting down whole neighborhoods in China. They're restricting the amount of energy that factories can use. They're telling everybody they need to conserve their energy. Stuff is starting to bottleneck. Stuff is starting to bubble up We're facing our debt crisis here in the U.S., where if we don't raise the budget, raise the debt ceiling, we're probably going to default. And if we default, things could get ugly quick. And like I said, it was kind of interesting today seeing silver and gold take huge hits. That, I think, comes down to economy slowing, and the demand for the silver in the short run is going to be less, because we use a lot of silver for production, for building, for producing stuff, electronics, different stuff like that. And that will drive the price down a little bit. However, as the economy starts to tank and everybody starts putting in, you only really need to see a small amount of people take custody of silver and take physical silver, and then all of a sudden we're going to see silver really skyrocket into new highs. I know a lot of people think that's not possible. We're not going to see that happen because they believe nothing bad can happen to the U.S. The U.S., the laws of physics, the laws of gravity, the laws of finance, the law of supply and demand, these are things that apply everywhere. There's no exception to them rules. You can't, anytime you produce too much of something and you've got a back stock of it, it's natural that the price will come down because there's a lot of it. If you're not producing a lot of stuff and now there's a short supply of it, it only makes sense that essentially prices will go up because there's less, there's not enough for everybody. Not everybody is going to get it. Now, what really worries me about that is when that happens, just so many people are going to go without, so many people are going to be out of work, and it's essentially going to really bring us into a whole new set of problems that people are just not realizing. They're kind of checked out at the wheel right now. A lot of people, I understand, you know, you go to work, you're tired when you get home, you don't think about it. Maybe you watch the occasional video like this where they talk a little bit about it, but you keep saying, you know what, one of these days we'll do something about it, we'll prepare. And then all of a sudden when it happens, it just keeps boxing out people. It really does worry me where we're going, and that's why I kind of like shooting videos like this, to kind of let people think about stuff and just kind of put a little thought into it. What would happen if all of your monthly consumables that you go to the grocery store, the Walmart, wherever you shop, buy, and all those things went up by another 20%? I've had some people tell me it's not a big deal, it's only 20%, T. And that's true to a certain point. But what would you say if I took your paycheck and I cut it by 20%? Oh, people would go crazy. They'd be mad. But a lot of people don't realize what's happening because they're being nickeled and dimed to oblivion. I was about to say another word, but I didn't want to use that word. Everybody knows the joke, nickeled and dimed. But I don't want to use that word because who knows what YouTube will think of that if I use that word. But literally, as prices continue to climb, you're going to see people start breaking down. And like I said, it really does worry me. Now, I recommend, you know, you look into this a little bit more. Kind of look over your pantry. Put your stuff in order. Try to rotate some stuff. Get a few extra canned goods. Put those canned goods to the back of the pantry. Put your newer stuff to the front. Have a little extra on hand. We're getting into the fall now. As winter comes, things could really start bottlenecking, and it already is, but I'm saying that because it's almost like there's I won't say a deadline, because I think things will just casually keep slowly getting a little worse and a little worse, but if you're not prepared, you're going to get hit hard by this. And hopefully people that watch the video, I know a lot of the people that watch the video have been preparing for stuff like this, but not everybody, you know, is totally on board, and not everybody's gonna be. And here's the thing, if everybody tomorrow got on board, all we would do is instantly have the shortages, but the deadline for the shortages would just be quicker, it would come sooner. I feel that it's my responsibility, kind of, to my family, to my friends, to the subscribers of the channel, the people that watch the channel, to kind of try to share some of this information. Hopefully it puts everybody in a better spot, a little more prepared, and we'll see how it plays out. But shortages are starting. They're going to continue. And come winter, if things really get rough, that's it. It's over. Do I think it will get better eventually? Absolutely. I mean, things get better. Come spring, if vegetables go through the roof this winter and there's shortages on everything, you can almost bet a lot of people will try their hand at putting in a garden in their backyard. Having a garden in your backyard just to help make ends meet, during the old days, a lot of people had gardens. After the war or during the war, a lot of people were making victory gardens. It was a big thing, and it really did help the families get through the rough times. Here in Texas, last year, really early in the year, so this year, technically early in the year, we had a freak cold front come through, a winter storm, a cold front. It basically took down most of the power grid in Texas. That was a rough situation for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't have heat. You saw the stories, people's pipes breaking at their house, stuff like that. Please take a few minutes, think about it. Also, if you want to help the channel, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. I love reading y'all's comments. I'm trying to get in the habit of putting out more videos, talking to you guys more about what's going on so people can be prepared. I love it when I read comments. Hey, I did this. I'm glad I did, and it paid off. Thanks a lot. I love hearing stuff like that. I had a lot of people say that with Doge. So definitely keep me posted. Hit that subscribe button. Keep in touch with me, and hit that thumbs up. Help me out. And you guys have a great day. Hope everybody's having a great day. And I will talk to you guys again on Tsquare Talk. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.